What's up, everybody, and welcome to the Box Out. Boy, it's just me tonight. Titus is out at a fishing tournament. Chris was tired. So you're getting just me. Let's see if I can give you something good here. So we'll go backwards through this. Great fourth quarter from the Warriors. Totally flipped the script, what's been the norm in this series. Um, Steph Curry ends the game with 43 points, uh, 10 rebounds. Klay Thompson with 18. Andrew Wiggins, 17 points, 16 rebounds, almost out rebounded his point total. The big story for me, end of this game, Draymond Green sits on the bench until about 3 minutes left in the fourth quarter. Steve Kerr opting to go small, and Draymond was not providing a whole lot to them throughout that game. And they brought him in, kind of a little offense, defense at the end, and he ended up kind of having a pretty good stat line in terms of Draymond. So 2 points, which has kind of been the norm for him, but 9 rebounds tonight and 8 assists, 4 steals as well. So good turnaround game late there for Draymond after kind of being non-existent for most of that game. On the Boston side, quiet second half, and specifically fourth for the Celtics. Tatum ends with 23, Jaylen Brown with 21, and then Marcus Smart with 18. Derek White had 16 off the bench for them. Kind of a tale of two halves again. Boston really had it going in the first half. Golden State kind of was up to their old tricks of just, defense was lack. They were missing wide open shots. Klay had 5 points at halftime. Nothing seemed to be kind of cooking for them. They were just out of rhythm. And again, like we talked about in the last episode, they were living and dying by the 3-point shot. And there was not a whole lot of those 3 points falling for them. I had the stat down in the first quarter. Golden State started 0 of 5 from 3-point. They did end 5 of 7, but you can kind of see how they were living and dying by that. And that was only what was keeping them in the game. Then they did their whole patented right third quarter. Steph came out, had 14 in the third quarter, just kind of did what they always do. The big story again was they decided to flip the script in the fourth quarter, outscoring Boston 28-19. Looking through it here, we talked last game about rebounding and how Golden State was going to have to do a much better job of collecting rebounds and not giving Boston second chance opportunities, and they did that tonight. So they out rebounded Boston 55-42 in total. And on the offensive side, Golden State had 16 offensive rebounds to Boston's 11 offensive rebounds. And for the lineups that they were running out there, I was pretty surprised that they were rebounding the way they did. Andrew Wiggins, again, 16 rebounds was just absolutely monstrous in this game. He was working his tail off, and I think if you could give out a hustle award or a hustle stat to one player for the game, I think Andrew Wiggins would take that home tonight. Robert Williams for a while looked like he was going to be the most dominant big in this game. And I guess in terms of Chris's big men category, he probably was. But a collective whole from Golden State really did manage to get the job done. They kind of mixed it up here. Otto Porter Jr. did start the game in place of Kevon Looney. Looney ended up playing 28 minutes, Otto Porter only 15 minutes, but Steve Kerr did try out a different lineup. He tried to mix it up, and even late in the game when he had Draymond on the bench, he was trying to make sure that they got this game. I think it was an absolute must-win for them. I don't think if they go down 3-1, they're coming back from this. But now tied up at 2-2, I think you can kind of take this series any place you want it. Golden State gets back home court advantage. And, they looked like the championship kind of pedigree team here. They were facing some adversity in that first half, and they really managed to tighten everything down in the second half. And we got our typical Warriors third quarter. And like I said already, they managed to find a way to have a fourth quarter performance that was better than Boston. Curry, I think, again, is probably your biggest story of this game. 43 points. That's his second highest in the playoffs. They mentioned, I think he had 47 against Toronto in 2019. Curry was doing his normal, he was up to his old tricks, I guess. hitting deep 3-pointers with hands in his face. He was looking for any ounce of space he could get. And, Boston was not making adjustments. They were kind of sending switches at it. But the switch, I guess they weren't sending switches at it. They were kind of teasing the switch, and the bigger defender was kind of playing off of them. And if they weren't getting over those screens, Curry was rising and doing what Curry does. Klay Thompson also in the second half, he had 5 points at halftime, came out with 13. He got going a little bit there, definitely hit some big shots down the stretch for them. Not sure what's going on with Tatum and Brown. And I don't know if this is a trend that, is going to continue, but they seem to kind of go invisible here late in these games. I don't know if it's just that when they hit some adversity, and I kind of mentioned this after the last game, is, when they face some adversity, they seem to kind of get out of rhythm and not really get into their sets and do what gets them leads and what has gotten them some victories in this series. And they seem to be up to that again. I think, going forward, they got to stay the course. And I think, Ime Udoka is definitely going to probably be preaching that is, guys, just because we get down, 3-4 points, it's been back and forth all night. We've had some leads. They've had some leads. There's no need for us to be there's no need for us to be rushing. There's no need for us to be going iso ball. There's no need for us to be just, rushing down and not running, full set plays. They just need to be more consistent. They need to do what they do from the start of the game. They need to carry it out through 4 quarters. Golden State seems to have found maybe a little bit of a recipe that's going to work for them. I don't know if it's going to be enough, based on Boston's defensive pedigree, if they're going to, just kind of let this happen. I feel like there's going to be definitely some adjustments made. They're going to watch some tape and they're going to see it. Probably 5 or 6 of those Steph Curry threes that they gave him just too much space off of a pick and roll. And they're probably going to be more tight on that, I would assume. I would also think that you're going to get a little bit better game. One of these from Horford. I know last game, Smart, Brown, and Tatum kind of had, 27, 26, and 22 or something like that. But Horford has been quiet in this series, minus game 1. 8 points for him tonight, 2 of 6 from the field, only 6 rebounds in 28 minutes. You'd imagine that's got to change at some point. Derek White. Yeah, it was just it was really typical Warriors ball in the second half. Steph just could not miss. It seemed like. Definitely a close wow. Definitely a close game. 10-point victory. I think at one point here with 5 minutes or so left, that was kind of going back and forth. They were throwing haymakers at each other. I had the feeling that Golden State was going to kind of let it go. They were, again, living and dying by Steph. There were not many touches to other players outside of Steph. In the end of this game, there was maybe a layup to Kevon Looney off of a Draymond drive. But they found a way to do it. I guess, when Steph is on like that and everybody else is kind of being slightly dangerous, it definitely helps. Klay, again, he didn't have a great game in terms of scoring, but he was hitting shots, and his shot looked a lot better tonight. He did only go 7 of 17, but a lot of his jumpers looked a lot more crisp for him. I would think that you're probably going to get a pretty good Klay game at some point in time. It's got to happen. He seems to be, he's not afraid to shoot. He's got some confidence. So I'd imagine at some point you're going to see him light up the scoreboard here. And we got a comment from Force Stats that says, what do they got here? I'm going to listen to the hell out of this tomorrow morning. All right. I hope you do. If you do listen, share it, download it, pass it along to everybody. Let me know how I did solo. Yeah, I guess looking forward to game 5. Just kind of my thoughts here. Obviously, Monday night, 8 o'clock, back in Golden State. I don't know if there's necessarily been a momentum switch. I think this is kind of playing out how you would expect based on, everything that's happened previously. I do think, though, a home game kind of tips in favor of Golden State. Steph looks like he hasn't had any ill effects from the injury or potential injury that he suffered on his foot at the end of game 4 or game 3. Sorry. I feel like he was pretty spry today. He was running a lot more than usual or in previous games. By running, I mean like he was definitely kind of doing that typical somebody gets the ball top of the key and Steph is kind of, running like a madman trying to look for that ounce of space. He looked very engaged on the offensive side. Not so much on the defensive side. And I guess maybe that's an interesting point. Now I'm kind of thinking through it. Like I did mention after game 2, hey, where did Steph learn how to play that kind of defense? And I feel like maybe that was not what they needed him to be doing is, he doesn't need to be exerting himself on defense. That's not what he's out there for. He's out there to make threes and play offense. And he was locked into that tonight. For Boston, like I said already a little bit, they need to just be consistent throughout this game. They can't come out strong and then kind of let their foot off the gas and let Golden State have a big second half. They've got to find a way to stop these third quarters that Golden State is throwing at them. They've got to find a way to come out of halftime and maintain a lead if they do have it. They had a 4-point lead, I think, tonight, a 5-point lead at halftime tonight, and came out, got outscored by 6 in the third, and then outscored by 11. Sorry, wow, hard math tonight. Oof. Yeah, 9 in the fourth quarter. So they just got to be more consistent. They do need to get some contributions, I think, from Al Horford. That would definitely be good. And then one more thing for Golden State, they've got to continue to win that battle inside the paint. The rebounds were big in game 3, and they managed to flip the script tonight. Points in the paint were also in favor of Golden State, 38-32, which was a far cry from the 58-26 or whatever, 52-26, whatever it was in game 3. So if they can kind of keep that all together, I think Golden State's got a pretty good shot to go up 3-2 here. At this point, I'm fully expecting there's going to be a game 7 here. It just has all that feeling of just this cat and mouse game, and all it's going to take is for one team to be real hot one night, and it's going to be what it is. So I'm thinking we get a Golden State victory, and we're back to Boston next Thursday, with a chance for Golden State to win on the road. But as Titus has called out many times so far in the series, Boston has not lost 2 games in a row so far this playoff. So there's still a chance for that streak to stay alive, and they're going to have to do it in order to keep the series moving. All right. I've rambled on for 13 and a half minutes. I think that is all I'm going to give you guys for just myself. So for just me, I am the Box Out Boy tonight. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Titus's spiel. Go download it. Follow us on all of our socials. Shoot us an email. Send us some questions. And we'll be back at it full crew Monday night after game 5.